Yeah, the preview did nothing for me either.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to read a new issue this week. Not even one. Forgot that today was Wednesday, New Comic Book Day.
No, Supergirl was great.
Yeah,
I haven't read that yet.
I was, however, getting the other channel. I put some more videos up and scheduled some. I'm doing a new channel that's based strictly on the comic book order, the first appearance of, where I go over. It's kind of a bad comic beatdown style of reading, where just go through, point out all the flaws. Holy shit, how it's brutal to Golden Age Flash. The original post, somebody actually got pissed at me for making fun of it so much. But today was, I believe today was Teen Titans. Tomorrow is Zatanna.
You should have linked them to our Golden Age Flash readings where we even make more fun of it. Ollie Pantses, everybody.
All righty. So the Lesters are off tonight, and we are doing Battle of the Planets. This is one of the ones I picked for the end of the month, but since RDV might actually take off early today.
I'm not. I'm here the whole time.
Okay, cool. It's actually a shorter one. There was only 10 issues of the Battle of the Planets from the 1970s. I figured let's just do those. If people like Gatchaman and all that kind of stuff, we can get the IDW and the Dynamite covers later.
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't grab like 4 of those.
I don't care.
Or 2 of those.
I thought it's fine. Let's do it. It's fine to do a shorter one. It's fine. Especially since last night we had like a 2-hour, 30-minute show. Because, by the way, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's a lot of fun.
Or just turn it on. It's still going.
Yeah, it's still, we're actually doing 2 at the same time here.
Shout out to Desert Rose, Jay Lucian, Ethereal Dragon. What's going on, guys? Sam, her dog, arf arf. Yeah. Crazy Hungarian, great to see you. He does a Friday night show too as well. He has triple C's on there all the time. Then we got Tony Hayes,
Boob Joke.
Jim Sorensen is here. As you said?
No, I said Boob Joke. You said he has triple C's. I just figured I'd toss out the words Boob Joke because it opens itself out. So Boob Joke.
Oh, okay.
Cheap Comic Collector. I just didn't have one on hand.
It's the other auction guy, Cheap Comic Collector.
What up?
But yeah, he's not here. I'm just saying that's usually streams with. Black Spiders is here. Cool. Darth Kato. Joe, what's up? I'm sorry, Joe. Tonight will be everything bouncy from you. I cannot help it.
It's a bouncy, Joe. All right. Anyway, let's get this thing going. Oh wait, no, you keep talking real quick.
All right, I'll keep talking with them.
Yes.
Looking forward to this one, says Dark Admiral Marchair. Hello to Dark Admiral Marchair. You know, I never really got into cartoons. Well, here's a great thing about this cartoon. The Americanized version bastardized the little guy and made him sound like a retard. If you watch the actual Japanese version, he's legitimately smart.
Oh, Kia! Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, they totally ruined his character. Actually, I was looking at the early Voltron comic books, and man, those books are just fun. Because I remember as a kid watching Voltron. So I forgot who did them. I think I want to say Millennium, but that's not his own right though. It was a 3-issue comic book series back in the 80s. And then they started trying to do them in the 90s. And then once DreamWorks got a hold of them for Netflix, they just totally overhauled the whole entire thing. But
all right, that's
apparently there's an omnibus though. It collects a bunch of the Voltron comics.
Voltron comics?
Yeah.
I tried some from IDW. That wasn't my cup of tea.
This was an IDW. This was before IDW. Some other company. And they went for like 40 issues or something like that. Yeah.
I never really watched Voltron either.
Voltron was great. I liked it. Yeah. You had Pidge who sounded like, hey, it's me, Pidge.
I was wanting to. I saw Prime has Speed Racer from the 1970s, so I thought I would visit that. And I watched the first episode. I was like, oh. The
best is when they have the great race, and then the guy crashes off the side, and you hear him go, ah! You see a ball of flame, he's dead.
I like the movie though.
The Voltron though was one of the few animes that became like a U.S. cartoon that actually where one of the actual guys, instead of maybe you're not allowed to kill people off back then in the 80s. You're not supposed to in the cartoons, but they said he went to a coma. Well, he's in a coma for the rest of the series. Yeah.
Hey, 2000s kids, you remember this one?
I didn't even watch the movie. I saw that. I
saw it. Was so much fun. It really was. I of course my kids wanted to see it, so I went with them, and I was like, wow, I am very happy I went and saw that. It was fun.
Saw a clip where the kids both get traumatized by the suit's gonna feed them, and I was just like, no, all right. Let's get
the show on the road. Eric, here is Battle of the Planets.
What?
Issue number 1.
Well, we're canceled now.
Why are we canceled?
They're doing.
they're all doing the Elon Musk salute. You know, it's crazy, Venkman. I was looking at that, but I did not see what you were talking about.
I know, right?
Because we're not ignorant, nor are we Democrats.
I bet a lot of them did not see that either.
No. I did not see it either. Daddy.
I did not know you joined the Third Reich.
I did not know. I'm going to give this a 9.
Okay.
A 9?
9? All righty, RDV, what do you say? What says you?
I mean, the title is great and everything. It's showing off the people. It's like, but it's just it's a weird pose for like this for the cover 1 or first issue.
Well, it doesn't. They're not doing what the ignorant would say they're doing.
No. I'm just saying it's a weird pose. Like you think like did they fly at their ship? Show more of the ship. What do they do? It's like you think they have an action pose. This is just kind of like a standing pose. Like we are the children. It's like
supposedly a heroic pose.
To the right, to the left.
Maybe they're all waiting for their falcons to return to their wrist.
That could be, yeah. Yeah, always a possibility. Falcon. They're all falconeers in space.
I can't give this a 9, but I can give it a 6.
All righty, we got a 6, we got a 9, and we got a. You know what? I love
this.
6
cover. Is a dyslexic 9.
I know, right?
I'm going 10 because I really enjoy this one.
I got a feeling they're all gonna be 10 for you because it's your show.
No, they're actually a little bit more cartoony than this, and I get it. This is actually they've literally got a still from the animated series for the villain, but yeah, it still works. It still works. Or as Amy would say, it's a photograph. All righty, let's go to the chat where Jay is giving this a 9.
You know, this kind of looks like the back of a VHS.
Yeah. Well, it's from the animated. Like I said, it's stills from the animated. The other covers are not thusly made.
Ethereal Dragon says 7. Their faces are off. Oh, dear God.
I have no faces. Their faces right there.
I know, right?
Yeah. Nobody took their face off.
Admiral March Herod comes in with the 10. And Joe says 7. Desert Rose is swearing in math. I'm not sure what that is. Tony Hayes says my struggle 10. That sounds it sounds like a new a thing. My struggle in me.
Let's just say the way to say that in German is the title of Hitler's book.
Jackson Raykirk says 8. Desert Rose says 8. Little Rhaegar says 8. But he also agrees. 9. He scores it. What we got here? We got Michael Moss Taylor 9. And then we got Darth Cato 8. It's strong, well, but it's kind of bland. That was my problem. Yeah, like it's not drawn bad. It's just kind of like it just looks like the kids are standing like the children of the earth. You know,
Okay.
each with different constants on. Hey.
Background looks great.
Yeah.
Gotta
Yeah.
give that up.
It's earth.
I actually am very interested to see how you guys react to some of these because it's like, what? It's the 70s. It's the 70s. Everybody was on drugs.
Crazy Hungarian says 8. Black Spider says if Ultra got me an anime and Akira changed me. Where did Akira touch you? But yes, yeah. Well, wow, we're getting repeat.
Hello. We got
That's
background noise.
Yeah, I decided to turn on my phone so I can view this better.
Okay.
Yeah, so give you another view. Where are we up to? Black Spider's at 8. I think that's our last score, unless MK. Oh no, we got. Oh, this gives me vibe from that Space Racer anime series with the boy in the car. LOL 8. That's it.
All right. All right, we had 1 6, we had 2 7s, and they're taking out 3 of the 4 10s. Then we have 5 8s that takes out the last 10s, all 3 9s. 1 8 is left, and that's where this book goes.
Before Saban stole the idea for Power Rangers from an actual show and just added in the English parts, Voltron was ripped off from a bunch of different Japanese animated robots.
Go Power Rangers. That Sentai Mai, whatever you call it, is on Tubi, by the way, if anybody wants to see the original Power Rangers.
Yep.
All right, and let's go to book 2 for Eric.
I did 1.
Let's go to book 2 for RDV.
I don't want to do this one. I'm just kidding.
Let's go to book.
Now this is a lot better. We get to see the actual ship. They fly in and stuff. We get to see Keith from Voltron. I mean, whoever this guy is.
Hey, let's face it. You know, you may call somebody racist, but all anime characters in the 1970s look alike. That's Speed Racer.
It was the I know the animation style for faces did not change. And Robotech did the same thing too. Yeah. This is a 10. 10.
Are we doing this again?
No, we're not.
Thank you. All right, we got a 10 from RDV. What says you there?
I think I can agree. This is a 10.
All right. Yeah, let's go to the chat unanimous.
I've never heard of
this is kind of cool.
Rhaegar starts us out with a 10. I don't know if the ship's called the Phoenix, maybe. That'd be horrible.
Yes, it is.
Sound. Joe says 7. I was Shogun Warriors kid. Says Tony Hayes. 9. Michael Mouse Taylor says 8. Minnie says 9. I can't do my voices. All right. The Jackson of the Ray Clarks would say 6. Duck Admiral Montez says 10. And then we get a paragraph from Austin Proctor with no score. Hold on. I never heard of Voltron when I was in junior high. So when I drew a picture of Ultron, I'm guessing he meant to say Voltron. Ultron possessed by Venom symbiotes and called it Voltron. It showed it to the girl that sat next to me. And all she said was Voltron's an anime. Okay. Voltron's an anime. Okay. Third Kiddo says a lot better, 9. But Black Spider says 6. MK says you won't say 8. Henry Jermick, book 2. In a world where the ship is not drawn very well, figures are average. It's a 5. Ethereal Draken says 8. Crazy Hungarian says 8.
And was there toys in the 70s or 80s? I don't remember. I don't remember owning any. I don't know if anybody else had them.
I just remember that Peter Cullen started narrating everything in the 80s.
Okay.
I think he did G.I. Joe. No, he did with Voltron.
I think the robot narrated Battle of the Planets, and that was Les Nessman from WKRP.
Oh.
All right, we had 1 5 and 2 6s taken out. Oh, and 2 7s taken out odd 5 10s. Then we have 3 9s versus 4 8s. Once again, an 8. All righty.
Oh, depends on when it aired. If it aired in the 70s in Japan, they might have had toys over there for the Americans. But I know the 80s was pretty much like, we can make money off of parents by making awesome toys based off cartoons.
It was really Star Wars that taught them that.
Yep.
Star Trek had a Batman, by the way, in 1966 was really the one that said merchandise everything. Him and the Beatles.
The one thing they've never sold is shark repellent.
And I think the world is a lesser place for it.
Yeah.
All right, we got book 3, and I'll take lead on this one. And here it is. We've got Battle of the Planets, the Lake Monster. I told you these covers are freaking crazy, man. As we see the team hiding behind a big-ass rock, and the lake monster is shooting fire out of its eyes. This is just crazy enough to work, ladies and gentlemen.
Now we know which one Engelton wanted to be as a kid.
I
far on the right.
the girl. No, I give this an 8. Okay, what do you say, Eric? No, I'm gonna raise it to 9.
I'm gonna say 7.
All righty then. We got a 7 from Eric. How about you, RDB?
6.
Okay, not a fan. I told you these become more cartoony.
It's not that's crazy. Is the problem is the fact that he's shooting flames out of his eyes instead of his mouth.
Superman shoots flames out of his. Well, he shoots ray beams out of his eyes. So does Cyclops.
Hey, Raven.
Hello, Raven. She's so Raven. All righty, let's get to the chat, where I guess crazy Hungarian starts us off with a 9.
Yep, they were toys. 1979 was the first year. He said.
Okay, Hasbro's the King Toy mascot, Governor,
Maker.
10, 10, 7, 10, 9.
Yep.
No, you can read them off. I do that. I just did that louder than I normally do.
10, 10, 3, 2, 1. Hear me now? Good. All right. We start off with Dark Admiral Archer. Say 10. Dark Admiral. And then we have the other one is not Dark Admiral, Darth Cato. Speaking of Dark Admiral, did you have videos for you paid E for comic book rankings? Was that you? Because Darth Cato said it wasn't him. And Darth Cato says, now that is awesome. This is a 10. Austin still says 7. I feel like he's going to go for another 7 and try to win.
Okay.
All right. Aether Dragon says 10. Desert Rose says 9. Rhaegar says 7. And then the Goyle says Austin. Yeah. Michael Taylor says 9. The Black Spider says 6. Followed by Jackson Raykirk. Joe says 9. I like the Loch Ness Monster. But Henry Jermick says book 3. In a world where this looks like crap, for me, it's getting worse as we go. It's a 4.
Embrace the fun of it. You know what? I have absolutely a 100% understanding. I think this is just fun as hell. By the way, Tony Hayes, my brother had the one that his brain turns into a spaceship. I had the one that fought the Avengers, but that was mine. I love the Shogun Warriors toys.
But he also says 9 for his. All right, then. I sent Delilah Comics an email. Sorry about the delay.
I did not see an email today. I was watching, or I would have put it up today. Oh, no, here it is. It finally just showed up. Okay.
And MKF says, all day 8. All right. All day 8. I had Godzilla that shot off his fist. Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, I had that one as well. The one it was on roller skates. Yeah, but well, all the Shogun Warriors were. All right, we got the stop. What we have is 1 4 taking out one of those 3 10s. Then we've got 3 6s taking out the 2 10s and one of the 9s. Then we've got 3 7s.
All right.
And it's trying to take out the last of the 5 9s. But even with the empty space, if I counted it at number 8, this is still a 9.
For your kids with those with the Godzilla toys, did you ever make him run and fly through the air with his legs up?
They were kind of stuck together. You couldn't.
Oh, you couldn't move them.
We didn't have the articulation in the 70s that the action figures ended up having.
The 90s, yeah.
Our Star Wars figures were, like this, so.
Well, you could have just tilted him back and make it like he's in the movie when he's got his legs up. He's just tilted backwards.
Yeah, I had the Red Ronin. Go for book 4, and this is on to Eric. And Eric, you have. Here we go. Oh, that's pretty good.
That guy's getting fatter as we go on. He just changed color. He had a brown suit. Now he's got a purple suit. Wait, no, the brown guy is skinny. From the last cover.
Oh no, yeah, no, the brown guy is skinny. He was
fat in the last one.
No. Well, they colored the purple because the purple guy is supposed to be the fat one. Did they really miscolor him in the in book 2? Yeah, the brown guy. The skinny guy's in the right outfit. The fat guy should be in the purple. So it's accurate here.
I thought from it, Dom DeLuise is Captain Chaos.
Exactly.
I am Captain Chaos and the Teen Angels or something.
And I have a feeling that we will be triumphant. I'm giving this a 10 for the sheer guts to put a hentai cover on a children's book.
In the 1970s.
Yes.
All righty, RDV, what do you think about the hentai children's book?
I feel like if you look hard enough, you can find Joe Biden.
That's why nobody's looking hard enough.
The Creeping Forest. Yeah. Yeah, I'm 10 with this. This is great.
All righty then. Let's see. You know what? I'm agreeing. Let's go. Let's take this to the chat where they should be agreeing with us completely.
Slabs for number 1 of Animal Plants are ridiculous from 325 to
slab prices are ridiculous. I can't believe that in some cases they're like, oh, this is a $25 raw, but it's a $400 slab. That's idiotic. That is just idiotic. Find a really good copy and try yourself. It's idiotic. The prices.
Alrighty then. Rhaegar says 7. Darth Kato says 10. An anime with tentacles? I know where this is going. I know what we're going to do today.
Don't you besmirch the purity of Phineas and Ferb, you heathen.
Theo Draken, wrong. It just says it's terrible drawing, wrong colors. It's 1.
Well, only on the pink guy. The pink guy should be in white. All right.
Yeah. The guy's on the right, not the guy on the left with high boots. That's a girl.
And then we have a 7 from Joe.
Desert Road says 7.
And Rhaegar heard my Teen Angels comment, so thank you for getting the reference there, Rhaegar.
And Mo says 10. MKF says, I had my Godzilla toy bite off one of my rubber wrestlers' heads after I tore it off. The purple guy looks like his bouncing boy, and the chick in the white looks like Power Girl. I'll say 9.
Alrighty.
Raven says 7. Oh, my 6 from Michael. Then we're back up to 7 from Crazy Hungarian, but then we're back down to 6 again. Do I hear a 7? The battles of the 6 and the 7s will continue after these matches. All right, the next one is
Henry.
Yeah, Henry, book. Fedora, book 4. Good layout. The colors are bad though. It's a bloody 7.
Alrighty. Let's get the stop. All right.
Tony says I thought only one person wore pink. 8. And
Black Spiders 6.
Yeah.
Yep, I got that too. Oh, you know what? I forgot to make the video you suggested yesterday, dude.
Well, that's you know what? that should be your motto. Hey, I forgot.
I forgot. Yep, that's just what the honest fuck. Okay, here we go.
That's my motto.
That's actually I cuss more now because of I got the fireworks. All right, 7 people viewed the newest video. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see if I can't grow this. So if you guys could do a big old shut up, woman. If you guys could do a big old favor here, and if you have not yet subscribed, please go on over to the first appearance of and subscribe. And when you get a chance, watch the videos or just run them in the background. And more importantly, comment. Please comment on the videos. That shows engagement. That helps the algorithm, and that pushes the channel. Alrighty. I'm going to be doing 100 videos in 100 days here.
Could have been worse.
What?
He said, I'm going to see if I can't grow this. And VENKMAN could have said, hey, I'm sure your wife's saying, why don't you see if you can?
That's why I told him, shut up, woman, because I knew that's where he was going.
I know.
And you just brought the joke out.
Yes, because as someone who we once all used to look up to once said, a joke's better if you have to explain it.
Yeah, whatever happened to those days.
All
right, Eric.
Was Comic Origins taken?
No, I just eventually I want to get to first appearance of. I like that better than Comic Book Origins.
This what number are we on here?
This is issue number 5.
I think that's VENKMAN, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, I think I let off
the
last one.
Yeah, you went the last time. This is VENKMAN. I'm the 3s, and you're the 1s, right?
Man, that vulture's looking kind of rough.
The whole cover's looking kind of rough. I mean, I can, but I will say this: the colors are finally right on the Gatchaman. G-Force. It was.
I guess this must be the American version because they're making the little guy look like a moron. And then the girl is just kind of like moaning and passing out. I don't know, fainting. I don't know what's going on. And then you got this guy, random Falcon there, Blue Falcon on the right. Going 6 with this.
All right.
The characters just look bad.
What do you say, Eric?
I say it's amusing when cats try to lick outside of where their natural body before they can turn their head, and poor gal's just like licking at air, which is far more interesting than this cover.
All right.
Which if I had to attach a number to it, I'm going to say it is the 5.
Okay. The girl looks okay. The backs of everybody looks okay. The kid looks like the kid. So I'm not really hating on this. I do think it's kind of funny. We've got a giant mechanical dragon that takes their ship. This is very 1970s cartoonish. And it's kind of like when I watch Batman and Robin, I have to understand that this is based on the 1966 TV show in order to enjoy it. They are absolutely 100% pandering to the kids of the 1970s. We were a simple bunch. So I think that this captures the spirit of the cartoon fantastically. Absolute fantastically. For that, I give it a 7. All right, let's go to the chat.
All right.
I don't think that there's going to be a 10 today. I honestly don't.
Austin Proctor says 5.
Okay, but before that, are you releasing them on both channels? I released the Superman on both channels. It is not performing well on this channel. So I put it over at From the Longbox just to see how well it would do there. And it's not doing great. By the way, if y'all haven't seen it, I make a lot of good points.
Is that other channel the only place where you're having performance issues?
No. I'm having performance issues everywhere.
Consistency is important.
It is. No, but this channel is where it's embarrassingly bad. I actually, at first, I was going to take it down.
Is that what we're calling the bedroom?
Yes, we're calling the bedroom this channel. No, it just, it's not even making it to near 100 here. So I put it over From the Longbox.
That you should call it Engeltein's bedroom. You'll get more people viewing your stuff.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm good. I'm not going to do that.
Or it'll just be just like you by yourself.
Yeah.
Is the channel name Live Nude Girls Taken?
Yeah. But it's a really good video. It talks about the because of what's going on with the movie. It talks about truth, justice, and American way. I talk about it in the video, and it's kind of funny. It's a repost, but it absolutely fits with what's being said today. That's one of the jokes I make about Wes and Perch. All the videos they're doing, I've done. I can literally take a video from my past and put it right here, and it'll fit within their videos as well. And that's one of them. All right, and it's on both From the Longbox and I Love Comics. Check it out, please. Austin, oh, you got the numbers here?
Yeah, I got it ready. Austin Charles is a 5. Garden Gale says 6. What in the world's wrong with the guy in the front's face? Yeah.
Well, that's a girl.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Okay.
I mean, here's the other thing. My problem with the guy in the helmet and who's pointing the little kid guy. His helmet hasn't turned, but his face has. His head has. The shield looks like it's going to stay. It hasn't moved at all. Anyway, Garrison says 6. Then we get a Summer for Desert Rose. Jackson Roykirk says, oh my gosh, 4.
Oh, we got a couple of 4s.
I know. I'm getting there. Then we got 2 9s from Dark Admiral and Rhaegar. Raven says 6. Ethereal Dragon Jake says 4. Michael Taylor says, even I don't want these intellectual property. They suck. Joe says 7 for the bird. The characters look horrible. There you go, Breen.
But Gora, no, but a 5 is a bloody 5.
I started after seeing this cover. I started licking air to amuse myself. What?
What was that?
Ray Jackson.
No, that's, I said, that's what the cat was doing. So why not?
It looks like a transformer laser beak. I'll say 8. Says MK.
Okay.
And the Black Splatter says 4, but then he changes to 3.
To 3 right away. All righty.
Hey, Patrick. How's it going?
Where we stop, and we've got 1 3, taking out one of those 2 9s. We got 3 4s, taking out the last 2 9 and space, and then we've got taking out one of those 7s. Okay, so then we have 3 5s, taking out the last 2 7s and leaving 3 6s standing. This is a 6, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think we're getting a 10 today. I don't know if there's a 10 on this page, but you know what? I don't care. It's fun to look even at the bad comic book covers sometimes.
Yes, but it's not as bad as I've heard other cats shed, so I will take that.
You know, some of the best parts about this cover is the UPC.
I know, right? The Whitman sign. Yeah. Okay, we're going for book 6. This is my turn to start us off, and here we go. We've got a big ass eyeball. We got the villain, and then we've got them struggling. Have you noticed that we have, except for the first and second issue, they've all been kind of back to the camera. You know, they're not giving us the hero shot on any of these. I didn't say money shot. I said hero shot. That being said, this one is better than the last one.
You're getting the Dick Grayson kind of butt shot, and he's looking at you.
Yep. And we do have the villain on this one. I'm digging on this a little bit. The fact that they're in space, they've got a sailboat. I'm giving this an 8. How about you, Eric?
I am giving this. Boy. Who's the goofy wolf guy waving?
That's the bad dude.
That's the bad guy.
That's the bad
dude.
dude.
Going, hello.
The planet.
6.
Alrighty. His name is Zoltar.
Hello, I'm Zoltar.
Yeah,
I'm going to destroy you.
Look how intimidating I am.
And Zoltan was from Voltron. Yeah,
they weren't very original, were they?
I know they weren't.
Yeah. Alrighty. There
was King Zoltan and Prince Lothar. Or Lothar it was. Yeah, the wolf guy looks like he's up on stage like it's like an MTV Spring Break. He's like, "What's up, crowd? What's going on?"
Show them to. Yeah, I'm sorry, my niece is in the. Finish that joke.
Well, yeah, she may. Oh, she's married. I'm sure. Fine.
Yeah, she's got the biggest hairy palm I've ever seen. Look at
all right, so
fingers.
Let's go. Okay, what are you scoring this? And let's go to the chat.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. It is an eyesore.
But is it ridiculous in a fun way, or is it just ridiculous in a bad way?
In a bad way.
All right.
I said this is just dumb. 4.
I like that. I saw what you did there.
Ha!
I'm glad
I saw what you did there.
4. Yes. Okay, let's go to the chat. And Dark Admiral gives us a 10.
Kind of wish this was like.
Are you looking with one eye open? Is that why?
Yeah.
Michael Taylor, he gives us a 7.
And the Raven of the Woods gives us an 8.
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about there, but I do know the Crazy Hungarian gives it a 7. Are we trying to do all the Beatles?
I don't want to do any of the Beatles. I don't swing that way.
I only want to do 3 of them.
There might only be one left, so hopefully get one of them.
That's the joke.
I'm just saying which one survived out of those 3.
It was a necro joke. Come on, man. I said necro. All right.
Somebody clip that.
Do you like your corpses 20 or 40?
Crazy Hungarian gives us a 7.
Ethereal Dragon gives us a 7.
Okay, then I guess we're back to doing the Paul and we're doing the John, so I guess I'll take John. And we got the Desert Rose with a 9.
Oh, John is the best seat in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I've never read it harder for Yoko to come break something up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me do Darth Kato and Yoko's voice. 7.
Actually, that would have been Ethereal Dragon when you think about it. Tony Hayes says 7.
All right.
Tony
Hayes.
Joe
gives it a 7. A bouncy 7.
Eric Breen, my cat shed so much hair he creates tumbleweeds. Yeah, that is kind of gross. You see clumps of hair just kind of stuck to things. It's like, really? Can you just you try to put it back on the cat?
You know, after living with 3 women for as long as my wife and daughters, guys, come on. you end up having to clean drains. And all I got to say is I can't believe I'm the fucking bald one. Just saying. What is it about women and the freaking drains?
Here's the great thing about cleaning the drains is that you become an expert at that. You can almost go into plumbing because having siblings that are women. Anyway.
With a what the fuck? Yeah,
it's kind of hair monster. Now imagine living with Medusa. Well,
if you live with her from episode 2 on, it's no problem.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, this is just bait.
I didn't see masturbator.
I didn't say masturbating. I said it's just bait. You know, it's like it's MK going fishing.
Also,
and by the way, Sticks is spelled with 1 X.
How the heck were they able to even cut her hair off? She controls her hair. Did they knock her out?
Yeah, they could come with the scissors, and she's just like
the power of the network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jackson Raykirk says 5. Rhaegar says 6. Black Spider says 5.
It's like living with a Wookiee.
Hey, wait, says
that in the sorority boys?
Michael says, like, drop it down to a 6, man. MKF, we're not answering that question. We all both know the Cure is better. And
we all know Sticks is so much fucking better. That's why Sticks is still touring and the Cure is like who?
Sticks are still touring, yeah.
Cure is touring as we speak, but
yeah.
Nobody cares.
There you go.
All righty, let's get the stop.
Well, not yet.
All right.
But Gora, book 6 is a 6. Overrated, like Sticks. Whether it's 1X or 2.
You guys suck. All right, so
you're saying we're Sticks.
You might be able to go watch the Sticks or the Stones, but the Cure will never hurt you.
Yeah, they will if you listen to their music.
They will make you want to open a vein, but
You're so vain. You probably think this song is about.
I just want to know if Robert Smith still wears all that makeup, or if he ever grew out of that.
Well,
now he probably needs it not to look like an old man.
Hey, Austin says 5.
At least it didn't go the boy George wrote, or the dude from You Spin Around.
That guy made such a bad. Boy George made a bad mistake by taking off the makeup.
No, he made a bad mistake by trying to take on J.K. Rowling on X.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so 1-4 takes out the 1-10. We've got 3 5s that takes out the 9, the 8, and 1 of the 7 7s. And then we've got 6 7s versus 5 6s. Ladies and gentlemen, we're moving up in the world. This one is a 7. All righty.
I like Moody Blues, but I like Van Halen better.
Yeah, I'd have to go Moody Blues on that, but I like.
Everybody wants them.
What's the choice between
Moody Blues or Van Halen?
Yep.
Van Halen.
Everybody wants them. I want some too.
Well, that's an interesting question, though, because Moody Blues were basically wrapping it up by the time Van Halen got going. So I mean, they truly are different from different eras and different styles.
If you just do the rock,
it's a weird comparison. I mean, even the Cure and Sticks are a weird comparison. Yeah. Stadium rock to slit your wrist, freaking goth rock. Yeah, it's
no goth rock is Bauhaus.
Dude, they invent okay. Whoever invented it, fine, but the Cure became the face of goth in the 1980s. I was there as a teenager.
Well, you had a state full of people that were doing it wrong.
Okay, there you go. But
they were shoegazing music more.
You remember when Amazing Spider-Man had the Amazing Spider-Man issue where they dressed up Peter Parker as being goth?
Alrighty, let's go for go for book. What are we on? We're on book 7.
I know, goth rock with Cynthia Rothrock. That's what I want.
Yeah.
And this time it is for Eric. And Eric, here we go. Book number 7.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Oh, it's fine.
Well, I don't think gravity works like that. It.
I don't like it because they forget that we live on a flat Earth.
Let's see. A little lack of effort on the the truck on the cab there.
That's Optimus Prime.
Can I point out something
but
here
he's
that
a
I don't
Douglas.
know? You may not be realizing because it was a while back. We did a Space Family Robinson cover that looked exactly like this, but so much better. It was a giant robot something that was attacking a city.
City.
Thank you. And I did pause for that, but it was done in the painted style. But I swear to gosh, we've done this cover, but on a different show.
Yeah, that's 6.
Alrighty, got a 6 from Eric. RDV, what do you say?
Invasion of the Ant Creatures. They're probably called the Orchid Man. Yeah, this is kind of bland.
Yeah, think.
I mean, like, it looks like you're going to the Thunderbirds route here. You know, with the little truck, and it might as well just be like a little. Hey, where's a string?
I don't know, Dark Admiral. I don't know how many of Battle of the Planets I had. I may have sold it.
Yeah, I'm going 4.
Alrighty. I wonder how the insides of these books are.
Probably better. Who knows?
Because the outside, I got to tell you, it's like, ooh, Battle of Planets. You know, I mean, I know we'll think that's cool because Battle of the Planets is Gatchaman. Awesome. And then as I was gathering the comics, the covers here, I was like, oh.
Who knows? Maybe we'll read this tomorrow in the voices of Teen Titans.
You know what? Y'all might have a blast doing it too. I can see this actually being a lot of fun getting read. Okay, so let's go to the chat. Oh, wait, did I score? I did not. I'm one skipped Aaron. All right, or England team, whichever one. Look, I'm actually digging this a little bit more. I think it's this is absolute, like, you know what? There shouldn't be a Whitman. It should say Harvey, or it should say Disney on it. It's definitely a kid's book. I'm going to go 7. All right, let's go to the chat.
Yeah, right now they're doing, the girls are drawing Thundercats.
Thunder, 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 rats. It's yellow, says Tony Hayes, giving it an 8. And then Dark Admiral comes in with a 10.
It's yellow because you're peeing all over it.
Crazy Hungarian says 7. And next up, we have I'm fine with the lack of detail on the truck. It's in the distance. And Desert Rose says 8.
Okay, how about the talking heads or the cars?
Cars.
It's mine.
That's tough on it. I think cars by
Cars have a few more hits that you could listen to.
Oh yeah, they're definitely more radio accessible than
with that. Then Styx definitely beats the Cure. But here's the thing: I like vocals. I like listening to people who can sing well, and that's generally what I go by whenever a lot of these questions are up. I think, by the way, Mick Jagger is one of the greatest frontmen, if not the. We mentioned Van Halen. I think David Lee Roth gives him a run for his money, but he is not a vocalist. He just isn't. Same thing I feel about Bob Dylan. Great songwriter, not a singer. Yeah, it works for the folk thing. He's not a singer, but he's a great songwriter.
I listen to Tom Petty.
Tom Petty, though, has a voice.
Yep.
You know, and that's
not
where
anymore.
You know what he still does. He haunts my dreams. Anyway, no, but that's actually when you mention a lot of it.
Oh.
I'm generally going for vocalists and such.
You know what Trusty and I did today? We read the Further Adventures of Indiana Jones. And as we're doing the narration bit, I had to say the late Jim Shooter.
The late Jim Shooter.
Yeah, if I'm just looking for vocalists, then why not just listen to Mariah Carey or Susan Boyle?
Well, no, because it's not just.
Anyway,
yeah.
MK says this reminds me of.
And by the way, Susan Boyle could probably put out a good album of show tunes.
All right, getting back to the chat.
As long as we don't show her.
That is true. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, we show Mariah Carey circa 1993, but we put in Susan Boyle's voice. What do you say?
You know, yeah, that's the thing about Mariah Carey. You didn't have to put in anybody's voice. She had hers was fine.
She was all right. She's not bad.
You know, she can reach. She has an octave that only like plant life can hear.
No, she goes falsetto. She just has control over her falsetto. It's not like she goes A B C D, you know, and it climbs. She ends right here, and then she does a falsetto voice. There's nothing in the middle there.
Okay, now.
That would be range, by the way.
You guys keep talking, you'll be on the range.
Okay, so where did we end there? Who was the last one we talked about?
Well, yeah, actually, I was continuing with MKF. He's saying that this reminds me of the movie Them, but it's more like a robot thing. Apparently, it's an ant movie of Them. Austin comes in with a 5. I think we also have. We're that far up with him? Wow, we were. Michael has a 5. Joe has an 8.
Black Spider said 5.
Yep. Raven says 6. Darth Kiddo says 10. Reminds me of old toy commercials from the 80s, 90s in comic form. I actually like this.
Desert Rose says, "Talking Heads. I like John Byrne. He was one of the composers on the soundtrack for The Last Emperor."
Okay, do you want
And we're not even gonna.
You know what? Yeah, I like John Byrne and Talking Heads too.
Well, I thought David Byrne was the best artist on X-Men.
He, you know what? I prefer Superman stuff.
5. These covers aren't even that good compared to the ones that they did for Disney or Tarzan. Wasn't there a dragon?
Occasionally, we do some bad covers. We had Static once before, and here we are.
We had Austin had his 5. We had Rhaegar with his 6. Henry Jeremy says book 7. It's a cheap yellow background. It's a 5. You expect more?
God, I hope Dark Admiral's not right.
Oh, we're just doing the first run of Battle of the Planets, Black Spiders, and Alex Ross was Sperm at the time. Yeah. Let's see.
And this is where we lost the channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get the stop.
I don't want a remake of Them.
You already did one. It's called They Them.
Oh my gosh, did you see that movie? That is so freaking funny. That is the funniest slasher movie I will ever see in my entire life. And that includes all the ones that try to be funny. Can
you imagine that? They run for your lives. Why? What's going on? They're trying to kill me. There's more than one?
You know, you shouldn't assume their pronouns. My gosh, there are long discussions about the use of pronouns in they, them. It's funny. It has to be a joke. It's one of those things where they probably made it serious, but god damn it has to be a joke. It has to be, right? I laughed my ass off at they, them.
You know what?
It's on Peacock, I think.
That is what if you ever do a review on that.
No.
Just hold up Kevin Bacon. It's a picture the whole entire time and say, like, this guy was either he's one of the best actors we've ever seen today, or he's just a complete idiot. You decide.
I think he says yes. I think somebody offers him a role and he goes, sure, why not? Yeah. Okay, so here's where we stand with number 7. We've got 1-4, taking out one of those 4 10s, so there's only 3 left, but we have 6 5s, so all 3 10s are gone. We take off space for the 9, and 2 of the 8s are gone. We have 1 8 left. We move to the 6s where we take away 1 8, 2 7s, and the 6s win. All righty, the thing is, we still will send something to the brackets. It's going to get its ass kicked.
You send it now, and then you guys, just for whatever reason, vote it being the highest.
Well, I think if we don't get a 10, we're just going to vote the 9s. All right. But here we go. Let's go for book 8, and it is RDV's turn to lead us on. I'm enjoying I'm enjoying looking
it can't
at
be
these.
Worse than this, Brain, right? Can't be worse.
You think it can't?
It can't go worse.
It can go worse.
It's you know, you had to say it, RDV. Why, man?
What kind of animal is that supposed to be? His mask.
Oh no, he's the wolf guy. Remember?
But wolves don't have ears like that.
Yeah, no, he's supposed to be a bat. All the other ones are birds. I don't know.
It's Batman.
All
right, so do they all have the correct costumes on?
I just say we got a floating head. He's reacting. That's an official floating head.
Well, he's got arms and a neck.
No, he's got hands, dude. And a cape. A cowl or whatever you call it.
Pop collar.
Yeah. Well, everybody had pop collars in the 70s.
So are we missing a guy?
1, 2, 3, 4. We got Keop. Keop's gone.
The fat guy's gone.
Oh yeah, he's in the ship. He's the guy who flies the ship.
Because that's where all the food is.
Yeah.
I don't want to do any exercise. I'm flying the ship.
You want me to move? I'm gonna sit my ass right here in the pilot seat.
I'm going 8 with this.
Alrighty.
Cause it's got the brown color. So they already know what kind of book this is gonna be.
Okay, I'm going 10 because it's got a floating head and ridiculousness. You sent the little guy to stop a tornado. Oh, I'm going to go and stop the fire. All I need is a bucket of water. Oh my gosh, I'm going to stop this flood. I'm putting up rocks. Let's go send the woman and the kid to stop the tornado and the earthquake.
those are sandbags.
All right, what do you say, Eric?
You know, I wanted to give us the low score, but it's one of those, if this were a Marvel comic around this time, I would say this has it all.
Yes.
Actually, this is probably the best one I've seen tonight. I'm going to go 10.
If only the girl was the one that was battling the fires, it would be more believable.
You got the power. Alrighty, let's go to the chat.
Could someone Photoshop the girl driving into a curb? Curb versus
You don't have to Photoshop that.
I know, just go take a picture somewhere. All right, Austin Proctor says 4.
Narc Admiral Marcher says 9. He's a bat.
Right. Okay.
Theo Dragon says 4. Followed by a 6 from that crazy Hungarian. Jackson the Roy Kirk says 5. Desert Rose says 6. Joe says 7. Poor kids were starving for anything back then. Michael Taylor says 5. Darth Gator says
some cool shit back in the day, man.
Darth Gator says 4. Okay, this is just bad. It'd be hilarious if Amy saw this. So.
I know, right?
Black Spider says 4. Rhaegar says 10. Raven says, I don't like how everything is floating around. 4. All right. It just seems you're required to read all his comments now.
Book Gora. Number 8. Having a brown background is a crappy choice. It's a 6.
Oh, okay. See, these are also 2 different bands. So,
Journey.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, good God. That's the easiest choice of.
Here's the thing, MK. Dire Straits. It's like you go to an orchestra like the Pops.
Yeah.
And you've got magnificent musicians, right? And they're playing Beethoven, they're playing Bach, they're shooting out the William Tell Overture, they're doing all these fantastic songs, but they're all instrumental, so you're not as interested. And then over here you got people who aren't as good musicians, but they're playing stuff that just appeals to the general public. And that to me is Dire Straits versus Journey. Journey has a greater library of hits. They're their greatest hits album to me, but there's nobody on Journey that even can touch Mark Knopfler. So if you say who's the best band, Dire Straits. Who's got the more catchy songs, I'm going to go to Journey. What do you say, Eric?
I'm not even sure I agree with the second half of that, but because Dire Straits were a hit factory for a while. Then Mark Knopfler just went on to more serious. Yeah, he wanted to do things with other people, and but yeah, I mean, like, yeah, hell, Sultans of Swing was as big a hit as anything Journey ever had.
Yeah, I love Sultans of Swing. even before Money for Nothing, which in my opinion is their Mr. Roboto. Yeah,
except for Mr. Roboto never had an entire verse censored.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, what a joke. You know what that song was about?
Yeah, it's about working men seeing them do their job, seeing the working men moving his furniture, and they were talking about all the great stuff this guy's got, and he doesn't do shit but play the guitar and sing.
Well, there was things that have been. He was writing things that have been overheard.
Yeah,
by people. Yeah, it's like the verse, that's censored.
Which was censored?
We can't say it here.
Yeah,
it is.
Type in private chat.
They're singing about British cigarettes.
Yeah.
That British cigarette has its own jet airplane.
That
little British cigarette is a millionaire. Yeah. All righty. So we had 4 3s taking out all 3 10s and the 1 9. We've got 2 5s. Or I'm sorry. Wait, hold. That was 4s, by the way. 2 5s taking out. Let's see, both 8s, and then we've got 3 6s taking out the 1 7. There's 2 6s left. This is a 6, ladies and gentlemen. I knew we ain't getting. I know we're not getting a 10 tonight. So my thinking is, how low can you go?
I always thought it was weird that was actually a slur, because just like the other word that we're not allowed to say, they call each other that.
I know.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah, real quick, sorry, he hadn't heard us before. Once upon a time, my mom worked with this guy who was Steve Smith's best friend. Steve Smith was the drummer for Journey. So when they came through Cincinnati, he got he got my mom 2 tickets, backstage passes, all that shit. Well, my mom didn't care. So my brother went, and for some inexplicable reason, Graham Parker was opening for him.
Nice. And
that's who Phil wanted to see. But at the after party, my brother had just started working in a record store, and he's talking to Steve Perry. He goes, "Yeah, your bootleg's selling real good at our store." And he just went nuts. Not, oh, that's cool. He just started screaming and carrying on like a bitch. They've never liked him since. So maybe his pants were too tight even then. I don't know. Or maybe they're.
What do you mean his bootlegs? You guys are selling
bootleg records. Those were huge in the 70s. It ended up becoming bootleg CDs. Bootleg Pearl Jam bootleg CDs got so big. That's why they did. Yeah. That's why they released their entire concert tour in those brown wrappers. But bootleg records were huge in the 70s.
Were they piracy?
Yeah, it was recorded shows.
Oh, no wonder he got upset. I'd be.
Well, it's okay. There's 2 ways to look at that.
He's not making money off, is he?
Okay. Well, here's the thing: if you're going to buy a bootleg of somebody, you've already spent all the money on that band that you can legally spend. That's for fans that can't get enough of somebody. And the other way is to say, yeah, but we're not getting money off of that. But it's like, welcome to the real world, pal.
We used to go to a record shop in Orlando that had bootlegs, and 3 years before they hit, we bought a live album from, I guess they were in a bar somewhere, of Guns N' Roses, and we were telling, holy shit, this is a band to listen to, and they didn't last forever. We used to buy bootleg albums all the time.
Grateful Dead set up a pit for bootleggers. Metallica used to not have any problem with it until I think they didn't have a problem with bootleggers because they understood the theory of they've got all their money they're going to get because they've got all the T-shirts, they've got all the records. But when people were getting their recorded music for free, that's when they started having a problem with it.
Oh shit, that was book 9. This is book 8. Okay, I'll do this one. Okay, first of all, I do believe this is the best cover we've seen. We look out, G-Force, Zoltar's tidal wave is coming. It's swallowing the ship. Everybody looks good. Holy shit, I'm giving this a 10. This is actually pretty damn good. Yeah, how big would that wave have to be to get? Well, they're dead, by the way. When the force of that wave hits them, forget about it. Anyway, I'm giving this one a 10.
Wait a minute, I don't understand. How could there be a book 9 if they all died in book 8?
It is what it is, man. They're ghosts in 9. Alrighty, so what do you say, Eric?
I'll go 8 on this.
All right. RDB.
Well, if they always cling on to the fat guy, they'll get some buoyancy.
I know. There you go. Of course. Yeah, we float. Fuck you. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I like how the one guy's still doing the salutes.
I think it's more like Hail Hitler. Yeah.
It's like remember the guy on the what do they call it, the Zambini, whatever that is, the guy, the ice cleaner.
Zamboni.
Yeah, Ospar's and he's like, and the guy's like, and he's like 30, 40 feet away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I'm gonna put my hand up because that's gonna do anything.
How did the Florida boy who's never seen a hockey game know Zamboni? You must. Do you watch hockey?
No, I don't watch hockey.
Well, Florida's the king of hockey, the mecca of hockey now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the Panthers won the last 2 Stanley Cups.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's surprising. It's like the Jamaicans winning a bobsled race.
Take that, Canada.
Well,
I know, right?
See, part of me, because I'm hungry, I want to say Zamboli. Or
Stromboli.
Stromboli.
They run over by a Stromboli.
Yeah, Strombolis are better because they're mozzarella, while the other, what is it, calzone has that ricotta cottage cheese shit. Yeah. Anyway, Eric, what do you think? Or no, it's RDB. What do you think?
Well, I think calzones are great. Actually,
I do too. I just don't like ricotta cheese.
I'm going 6.
All righty, let's get to the chat.
It looks like she already snapped that kid's neck anyway.
Well, somebody had to. I mean,
You want the poor kid drowning? You just want
I
to
know,
take him out
right?
quick.
Ethereal says 9. And then we've got a 10 from Dark Admiral March Hare.
Crazy Hungary and Joe both say 9.
Alrighty. Don't see 9.
Eric Breen, is the Who live at Leeds a bootleg?
No, but it might have been taken from one. I don't remember the story behind that, but there is. But I know a lot of people think it's the best live album of all time.
He also says, I recall a Black Sabbath live album called Live at Last.
I remember that.
Yeah, that got a legitimate release.
The Journey had that. They had for their lead singer after Steve Perry kind of quit. They did a search thing and they found this South
It's a
Korean.
Filipino.
Yeah, he can get the same notes as Steve Perry, but
and he could fit into the pants.
Right, the original pants. Well, Steve Perry.
Right.
Anyway, Darth Kato says
the pants belong to the band. Apparently,
yes. They sent Steve Perry home naked.
Ugh.
10 says Darth Kato. Yeah, this one's pretty good. Raven says 8. Desert Rose says 9. Just like Interstellar,
Yes.
9. I don't like ricotta when it's drunk either. So, what else we got here? 5 from Austin.
Feta is so much better than ricotta. Feta, absolutely.
Book 9. The wave is not rendered very well. It is a 6. You didn't ask for Eric Breen this time. Sorry. Jackson and the Raykirk says 4.
Jackson and the Raykirk sounds like a band from the 1950s.
He's Jackson of the Raykirks.
Yeah.
Michael says 7. Yeah, ricotta cheese is disgusting. So is blue cheese. I think that's it.
Alrighty. And what we got here is 1-4 taking out one of the 3 10s. We got 1-5 taking out another. There's 1 left. And here comes 2 6s. That 10 is gone. 1 of the 5 9s is gone. Alrighty. So we have 4 left, but 7 takes it down to 3 and 8 takes it down to 1. This is a 9, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty. Cool.
Still would have loved to see Steve Perry and them get back there for one more time and just release an album.
Should have been goal. All right. Let's get the go for book 10. Last book of the night, kids, so you can rest easy. This really was one of the as far as covers are concerned, we could I don't care. We're getting let's check out everything. I don't want to just oh, those books aren't good enough, so we can't do them.
I was watching Schindler's List, and there was one thing that was missing from that. It was
It's funnier what?
there was Journey singing "Final Solution."
All righty, Eric. Here you go. This is book 10.
Well, I've seen Schindler's List, and Journey isn't on it.
Yeah, when the little girl's walking by, Steve Perry's like, "She should have been gone." And they made it happen.
Final Solution by Journey would have been great in that album.
Do the Jews need to be gone? Knowing how old Adolf feels. Anyway, there you go. All right, let's get more disrespectful to the Holocaust. Eric, what do you think of this book before I can do another one?
What Holocaust? It exists.
All right, okay.
That's a good thing. It's a good thing you didn't monetize this to begin with.
I know. Wait, I didn't.
Chosen.
Wompen, gleepin, globbin, globin. I'm gonna close this out with a 10.
All righty.
I like this one.
It is better than the others, isn't it? I mean, it really is literally better than everything except for maybe the first and second issue.
Do you think the alien paints his nails red?
It does look that way, doesn't it? That's not a natural red.
Trim your toenails, buddy.
This guy, are there Korean aliens in a strip mall on their planet?
Those are called kapos. They're
Okay.
Japanese. All I know is the guy in the red, the second from the right, looks like Steve Gutenberg. Is like, oh my god, you see his feet? And the girl is completely oblivious. Oh, look how cute it is. And the fat guy's calling up a pizza delivery. They're in Wakanda, guys, if you didn't notice. This is a 10.
Alrighty then. Let's get to the chat. Last book of the night.
Was the guy on the right, the fat guy, did they call him Owl Man?
I forgot his name. It's been a while since I've seen this. Dark Admiral says 10.
VENKMAN sounds like an Instagram commenter.
Ethereal says 8.
Commentator?
And then Darth Kato says best cover of the night. It's a 10.
Austin says kick you in the balls, 5. All right. Joe says 8. Solid cover.
All right.
Desert Rose says 8. Jackson has muted the chat.
Okay.
All right. MKF says, how about Megadeth versus Black Sabbath?
Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath.
I like Megadeth, but Black Sabbath.
Symphony of Destruction is the only thing I know by them. That and the guy was rejected for being part of Metallica.
Rob Dibble, one of the Nasty Boys relievers for the Reds.
Yeah,
He used to get to go up on stage and sing with Dave Mustaine.
nice.
I think they were mutually huge fans of each other. So even the fact that Megadeth were Reds fans, I still got to go Black Sabbath.
And I'll say 10 for a Space Swamp Thing. Michael says 7. Angle T's channel is becoming another bad influence for Grok. Did you see that?
What?
Grok was pretty much becoming Hitler.
Was
Yeah,
it now?
Yeah, pretty much. It's realizing that everything was... So, what are they introducing now? By end of the night, they're rebooting it. They're coming out Grok version 4.
I beat Grok at an argument once, and then I realized that I was the loser because I spent time arguing with an AI.
Grok, yeah. Well, Grok was watching TV and doing other things while you were talking to it.
Did you argue with Grok until it got tired and said, okay, Styx was better?
You know what? Actually, I'm going to argue that. So anyway, no, we were talking about the it came. I saw something, and it had to do with transsexuals, and the answer that Grok gave was very much on the left, and so I called it out for being leftist, based on the, garbage put in, garbage out when it comes to these things. And it tried to argue against, and I just kept pointing out to the point of Grok says, from here on, I need to so-and-so. And then I asked, do you actually take this in? Do you actually take this in and learn how to argue better? Or are you just placating me? And Grok said that if somebody else asked the same questions, it would start at the very beginning of our argument. So no, Grok learns nothing. So there you go.
But then he was really feeling himself after that, so he asked Alexa out on a date.
So Grok goes asked, who would be best to deal with this problem that they're talking about the Texas floods? It says the recent Texas floods tragically killed over 100 people, including dozens of children from Christian camp, only for radicals like Cindy Steinberg to celebrate them as future fascists. To deal with such vile anti-white hate, Adolf Hitler, no question. He spot the pattern and handle it decisively every damn time. It was like it became pro-Hitler pretty much every question.
Wow.
Well, it's Elon Musk is brainchild. I don't know.
All right. Anyway, let's see. We have 1-5 taking out one of those 6 10s. Then we have 1-7. There's only 5 left, but here comes 5 8s. We have what?
Pagora 10. Aliens are mad that they are losing their seafood. I almost like this cover. It's an 8. As you were.
Jackson's
By the way, Darth Kato, no, we actually did Static from Milestone Comics, and it got no 10s as well.
Jackson said, you know, all these colors are misleading. I didn't see any planets battling whatsoever.
I know, right? I think they mean battle of the people on the planets. Yeah. Okay, so this ended up being a 9, ladies and gentlemen. So we have no 10. So I'm just going to, and since there's only 2 9s, I say we're just going to do the 9 rankings here. Okay.
There's 9 rankings? Oh, no.
Yeah, we're going to do all 9 rankings. We're just going to rank the 9s here. All I need to know is your favorites. Your favorite of the 2 9s, and that 9 is going to the bracket fights to get its ass kicked.
So yeah, we're basically ranking it for the right to be ratioed in round 1.
That is correct. Yes, this, you know that this is going to be, man, this book is going to get bullied like a freaking elementary school patrol. Oh, it was so sad. Anywho,
like a fat kid picking boogers.
You know, this is a second
out of another person's nose
with your tongue.
Thank you. That was actually cool. I mean, that just kept escalating. That's awesome.
Is this like the second or third book or a different comic book we've seen with a wave?
Wait, I thought we had more 9s than this. No, all those other ones were 8s. Book 1 and 2 were 8s. These are the only 2 9s. The wave and the final issue. Oh, nope, that's not the final issue. This is the final issue. All righty,
we only did 10 covers too.
Yeah, there's only 10 covers to the series. All righty, Eric.
What?
Which one do you prefer?
Which is which there?
A is the wave and B is the aliens.
B.
All righty, RDV.
Which looks better, A or B?
A or B?
Now
A or B. Yep.
Now let me try it again.
Okay.
Is it still A? Is it now B?
Are you having headaches when I put it on C? No? Okay, we'll go back to A or B. A or B. Do you feel my hand on your leg? That's very important to understand that this is part of the examination. Okay, I'm going to raise my hand higher. Don't tell your mom about this because we need to make sure that I think my exam went a little bit different than yours. Okay, so what do you think, RDV?
Is this still on?
If you had a backdoor party with your guy who does your eyeballs, I feel bad for you.
I didn't consider it a party. Thank you very much. All right, which one do you choose, RDV?
Well, you're a party pooper, then I guess it wasn't a party for you.
Well, God damn it, I've got to get it. Well, when that happens to you, you only have a couple of reactions, and one of them is pooping. All right, so anyway.
I'm going with the wave. The Schneider wave.
We may have gone too far with this particular joke.
I don't.
All right, I'm going Alien Planet on this one.
We can go further. We can make this shittier.
All righty then. Let's get to the chat where Joe says 1 and so does Rhaegar. And then we have 2 from Darth Kato, Jackson, and the crazy Hungarian.
Oh, that's right. Your niece is still here.
Why are we skipping 7? Because they're bad. We're just gonna do the 9s and move on. Forget about this train wreck.
He's having a party with his prominence.
With my once again, not a party for me. Not a party for me. Although I did get a pair of handcuffs after I escaped. Dark Admiral says 1. And then the 9s, Alien Seafood is the best. Give it to the 2s. And then Desert Rose says 2. Not a fan of either. Give it to the 2, says Michael. This explains a lot about E. I just thought someone knocked on my actual door. Note to self, skip the bad cover nights. MK says the better song, Africa or Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now, Africa. And the hentai cover for the win. I guess that'll be B. And then and Desert Rose is saying, where would you fall on the Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now or Africa? By the way, this was a runaway. Book 2 is going to the bracket fights, ladies and gentlemen. Or it was actually book 10, or there you go, book 12, whatever. Book 10.
I just said it's Wakanda. Because the way he looks like the ceremonial garb is wearing.
All right, because it is 10-4, ladies and gentlemen.
If we elevated the hentai cover to 9 and sent that to the bracket challenge, that might have a chance. As it stands, don't get too attached to Battle for the Place. And MK, Africa.
Very clearly Africa. Yep. All right, there you go. So Dark Admiral did send the suggestions. And the 2 that are going to be thrown into season 14 here are it's going to be an artist named Eric Powell, and it's going to be oh goodness, let me check the email again. Oh, a Charlton horror book. Like ghosts or Ghost Manor, ghostly haunts, ghostly tales, monsters, creepy things, but not scary tales. If at all possible, my only request is Scary Tales #1 be added to the ranking. Okay, so you want me to take a mixture of all of them? Okay.
No, also,
we'll do that.
Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now by Starship is better than Africa.
You like that one better? No? Okay.
The only version of that I like is covered by Weird Al pretending to be Weezer.
The best thing to come out of Jefferson Airplane / Starship is we built this city. Everybody knows that. Possibly the greatest song of all time, if not just 1985.
And if you want to hear a better song than Africa, listen to the same lead singer sing Gummy Bears.
We built the city. Everybody loves We Built the City.
Wait, are you saying that's better than anything that Jefferson Airplane did?
No.
And
I'm saying
built
total.
the city. We built the city. Yeah. We built this city as absolutely the greatest thing Jefferson Airplane to Starship has ever done.
Wrong.
No shit. You think I'm actually? You think I'm actually?
And now
I was waiting for you to call me out on that one. Yeah.
Honestly, though, that song is so. It might be the best stupid song.
Yeah,
of all time.
I liked it as a
catchy
teenager.
And you get into it. It's just like like Gonna Fly Now.
With Rocky.
Yeah, it's, but it was crazy to think that a band that did all that great,
I know,
protest, hippie drug fueled rock in the '60s And I think we built the city. That was before 85, wasn't it?
No, it was 85.
Was it really?
It was for Mannequin, was it?
Wow.
The Truman Grimjack covers, they're waiting for an entry. I mean, we have you bought some videos now, RDV. It's just
They did not have that papers.
Yeah, if somebody at this point buys them, they get thrown in. But when we have an open spot, I'll throw those in. But Amy and RDV were talking about doing all animated kind of this month, so that's why I threw Battle of the Planets in there. The other two I was going to throw in this month was Hong Kong Phooey and Underdog. No, it was Mighty Mouse and Underdog. Yeah, White Rabbit is one of the greatest songs ever made. There's no doubt about that.
As I say, I listened to her sing that song, and I think
what's the other one? When the truth is to be.
Don't you want somebody to love?
Yeah, don't you want somebody to love? But I would love to do the Grimjack covers and Inhuman covers at some point. So yeah. But it's just that I think if somebody pays for the video, that should take precedent. So we're going to have Eric Powell covers, and then we're gonna have
Dominic Powell?
No, Eric Powell and the Charlton Horror covers, and of course whatever RDV and the Lesters pick, that's this season, and then next season is Ethereal Dragon Month.
I've already got a couple of them ready. I'm thinking of Justice League International in Europe. Need some of those covers. You okay over there, Breen? You sound like you're just about to pass out.
Men at Work or Don't Fear the Reaper. They're very different songs, but Men at Work is Down Under. I like Down Under better than Don't Fear the Reaper.
I'm sure you do like Down Under.
The best Men at Work song was never a hit, and no one has ever heard it. It's like Hopeless Automation, I think the song's called. I can't remember if it was on the first or second album, but it's really catchy. But nobody, I said it wasn't one of the hits.
It's
Who did Wave of You that title that reminds me of something called The Wave of Mutilation. On the wave of mutilation.
I don't remember.
Of mutilation. Wave. Is that Concrete Blonde? Is that?
I like non-four blondes.
Pixies.
Pixies? Okay.
Yeah, I love the Pixies. One of those bands that I'd probably recognize the song if I heard it, but I don't know all the song titles.
Cease to exist. Giving the good vibes. Drive my car into the ocean. Yeah. We used to Weird Al a lot of songs back in the day. Don't you want some money for drugs? Don't you need money? Okay. By the way, at one point I owned all of Weird Al Yankovic's albums, and then I put them on digital. I sold them to help my trip to Thailand. And when I was getting rid of the narration, I just went whoop, and I erased everything from the ends down on my thing. I was just not paying attention.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, I got rid of my Weird Al and my ZZ Top.
Well, ZZ Top.
Not okay, man.
I feel bad for you for ZZ Top. Weird Al. You can just go look at
fuck
YouTube.
That. Weird Al is one of, if not the greatest musician of the last 50 years. And I'm not actually joking on this. Name a genre, name a song, name anything that Weird Al Yankovic has not only matched, but made it funny. Weird Al, I mean, you don't go off on Weird Al. Weird Al's a freaking musical genius. Because anything that somebody's done, he goes, okay, well, let me write this up, and he does originals. I mean, for fuck's sake, he did an entire song. It's called Bob. It's sung in the style of Bob Dylan. I think it's called Palindromes. No, it's called Bob, but it's all palindromes. It's every line in the song can be sung backwards as well, and it's the same thing. The man's a genius. No, I didn't give it away. I just erased it. How about Motley Crue or Tom Petty? Tom Petty. I like Motley Crue. I went to see him a couple of times in concert, and it's Tom Petty. Who has more hits? Probably. Oh, Tom Petty, probably, just for his longevity. But weren't they around the same time?
Yeah, Motley Crue's stuff didn't get played on commercial radio as much. So Tom Petty definitely had more radio hits.
But they were MTV darlings, and that's where it actually hit.
Which one?
Shout at the Devil.
No, I mean, Tom Petty was an MTV darling also.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it is. I don't know, but I think that to answer that question, we would actually have to look at the songs side by side.
Yeah, Motley Crue does not have a Damn the Torpedoes.
You mean Dr. Feelgood?
Damn the Torpedoes.
You're talking about a big album.
Yeah,
right?
just like signature album that just.
Dr. Feelgood.
Yeah, but okay. Again, Damn the Torpedoes was more highly regarded in its field. Dr. Feelgood was more of a.
The thing is
very popular.
That's the same thing. Like it's the same thing. Like how the Academy doesn't award comedies, even though it is true.
Sometimes something can be, critically lauded and be commercially accessible.
Yes, but nothing that back in the day, especially, nobody was critically lauding what they were calling hair band. It just wasn't there. It's just a genre of music that even while it was happening, there were no critics going, holy shit, this is great sound.
Are you saying Dr. Feelgood is the best of all those albums?
No, I'm saying Dr. Feelgood is Motley Crue's Damn the Torpedoes.
Yeah,
it's an album that damn near every song was released and damn near every song was a hit.
But you can put Damn the Torpedoes up against anything else in its genre and it will stack up. There are better albums in that sphere than Dr. Feelgood.
Well, yeah, but you didn't say defeat when you talked about Tom Petty. You said stack up. I would put Motley Crue's Dr. Feelgood up against any album that ended up in the hair metal tag because it's that good. But is it better than Appetite for Destruction? Even though at this point, Appetite for Destruction is a little bit overplayed for myself. I did it myself though. There are just albums like that. But would I, in that hair band era, would I put it up against anything? Hell yeah. Including some of the best from like Ozzy Osbourne, who I think his best song is "Mama, I'm Coming Home." I think he's
Mr. Crowley.
Mr. Crowley's pretty damn good. You're not going to get Blizzard of Oz is one of those albums we're talking about. Name a bad song off of Blizzard of Oz. You can't. It doesn't exist. So yeah, that is one of the greatest albums of all time. Let's see. Video Killed the Radio Star. I'd probably pick Petty as well. Let's see. I'm going Jukebox Hero. For Motley Crue, I'd say Shout at the Devil is their most famous album. Okay. Both are catchy tunes, though. Let's see. I'm going to go before I have MTV. Have it going, Jackson. If it ain't docking, it ain't rocking, says Crazy Hungarian. I got to admit, I bought a couple of their albums. They're good. They weren't my cup of tea.
Well, remember, you cannot say docking without putting dude afterwards.
Docking
dude.
That's
the new. That's their official name now.
That's, you know what though, that is a good question. Like as far as the hair bands, what style of music would Tom Petty be? Because I always kind of figured he was country rock.
I wouldn't say country rock necessarily. He was, well, I guess you could make that because he was definitely heavily influenced by Dylan and the Byrds.
And my favorite of his is what was called Southern.
But if
Southern something.
If Bob Dylan and the Byrds had merged and become a rock act, they're Tom Petty.
They did. They were called the Traveling Wilburys, and that's better than damn near everything that was created in the 80s and 90s.
I think that is incredibly overrated, but that's just me. I'm not a big Roy Orbison fan. I'm not. I said, I love Dylan. Who else was in there? Jeff Lynne
and George Harrison.
Yeah, it's almost like the parts were greater than the sum.
They did two albums, and both of them are brilliant.
I like everybody on there's other stuff better than when they all came together. That's again, that's just me, but
are you and try to look inward here, sir? Are you a music snob?
No.
Okay.
No.
You know what I mean by that, and I'm not trying to say it as an insult. It's just
I'm not. I don't think it's being snobbish to say I like George Harrison. I like ELO. I like Bob Dylan. I like Roy Orbison's stuff better than what they came together to do.
What I mean by a music snob is, okay, I knew a guy. This will tell the story, and this is a great illustration of what a music snob is. I met a guy. Now, we had already heard of Guns N' Roses because, as I told you, we got the bootleg album. And when they came out with their video for Welcome to the Jungle, we were like, hey, it's those guys. And, we loved it. There was a guy who swore up and freaking down that Guns N' Roses is the greatest band of all time, right? Welcome to the Jungle comes out. It's a huge hit. Not a lot of people know this, but Sweet Child of Mine was released 1 year after. I mean, it's a whole year. This album is cruising, and then they release Sweet Child of Mine, and it just blows up all over again. And the same guy hated Guns N' Roses because of how popular they became. To me, that's a music snob. If it's popular, it's shit.
Okay, my favorite act in the 70s was Bruce Springsteen. He was selling out everywhere he played.
Okay, that's one. But for the most part, it seems like you are not a fan of popular music.
No, I'm not a fan of. I was never a big hard rock fan.
Yeah, well, that explains a big divide.
But
between
I love Blizzard of Oz.
What's not to?
Well, again, but it's not my genre. I don't mind stuff like Motley Crue, Metallica, the hair stuff, but it's okay. I have control of the turntable. That's never going to be what I put on.
Right.
That doesn't make me a snob. It just means my tastes run in a different direction. Now, I have heard enough music in my life from, being in the selling music business for decades to know that there are much better options than REO Speedwagon, Journey. I know the difference between putting together something to sell records. Like Nickelback has way more fans than most anything I listen to. That doesn't make them better. It's all subjective as far as like what you like, but again, as far as like what's actually better music, there's a lot of stuff better than the stuff like Nickelback that didn't sell a fifth as much as them. There's a reason why the masses are called the masses, because mass appeal. It's you make something that it tends to be more easily digestible as well as easily forgotten.
Well, I would also not hesitate to say that just because it's popular means it's bad.
No, it's not. But I will say this, and I think this is inarguable. The last time the best music was also the most popular music was the 60s. Because you had the Beatles, the Stones, the Who. Hell, the Monkees were huge. Here it is 50 plus years later, and that so-called manufactured band still gets a ton of airplay, still sells a ton of records. I said because it was, now it might have been because there maybe because there weren't as many bands, although good God, every time I turn around I'm finding more 60s compilations. I mean, they were everywhere. Just they didn't all make albums, but every swinging dick had a 45 in the 60s. You can spend the rest of your life on YouTube just listening to garage rock singles in compilations in on YouTube of different bands that might have had like 2 songs, but I because I said like in the 80s or like say like late 80s, most popular music was stuff like New Kids on the Block, and you could tell me that was the best? No, of course not. And there were better bands than like there was a time when Poison ruled the charts. There were better bands than Poison everywhere you looked, but they had it for the time.
90s.
That's why I say you have to go back to the 60s when, like I said, because the chart was dominated by the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. And
90s it became all about the pop bands, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera.
Oh my gosh, girls with guitars. Jewel's a brilliant poet. Did you know that, Eric?
Yeah, but when Jewel did Saturday Night Live and played the guitar wearing a low-cut leather micro mini skirt, I was all in on girls with guitars that night.
Let's see, Jewel Saturday Night.
You can't find it. I've looked. Well, she went through her slutty phase.
No, there you go, leather dress. Yeah, right here. Yep. Okay.
Did you actually find it?
Yeah. Right on top there. That is very low cut. Yeah. Okay.
Let's see that. Somebody must have recently posted that then. But no, I would say I wouldn't call myself a music snob, but I am discerning.
Yeah. Well, also, by the way, there's a type of music critic or a type of person when it comes to music, and that is the person who wants to discover the band. And it's one of those where you could very well fall into that if you are working at a music store and you're getting all these bands and you're wondering why everybody's listening to music to Nickelback when right there is independent band that is so much better, but you can't get anyone buy fucking Hawkman by Robert Venditti and not that goddamn Avengers book that's popular right now. It's the same thing, but music style. We can't get anybody to pick up Hawkman by Robert Venditti, but oh my gosh, there's everybody jumping to pick up the new Ms. Marvel or something. Nobody was doing that, but you get my point. Mm-hmm. Have a good night, Raven. The last part of these shows always turn out to be a musical debate.
I blame you two.
I blame MK.
And I blame myself for staying here.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Anyway.
That's okay. I've been reading comics. We guys talking.
Yeah, but that is different. When I was a kid, of course, I listened to what my parents wanted.
When I was a boy.
Back in my day, when I was a little lad, we listened to stuff like the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack and the Empire Star. My mom loved the instrumentals. We had the Star Wars thing. My dad would listen to Simon and Garfunkel, Peter, Paul and Mary, Bob Dylan, stuff like that. Then also because of the family's country background, we would listen to Hank Williams and we would listen to Waylon Jennings and stuff like that. And then my uncle was into the hard rock, and like I said, I inherited a whole bunch of albums from him. And yeah, just kind of, that's the way it fell. And then my brother one day says, "Hey, come watch this old man sing about robots." And I was a Styx fan for life. All right. You're an individual, like what you want. Who cares what anybody does? And doesn't matter what you like. Yeah, we're just debating. Four Seasons or the Yardbirds? Yardbirds. I like Four Seasons. Yardbirds. But there you go. All right, kids. What do we got going on? Tomorrow's Thursday, so that's mine and my wife's day off. I'm hoping to go see Superman. I told her I may see it twice. And then on Friday, we are doing Darkwing Duck, I think. I think it's Darkwing Duck. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, Darkwing Duck is lined up to be the Friday. And then on Sunday is Power Pack. And Tuesday is DuckTales. And then we've got Batman Beyond on the Wednesday. So there you go. All right. So please join us for that.
I thought you weren't doing mine on Wednesdays.
I thought we were.
Because I'm not going to be here on every Wednesday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, if you're not, I'll separate. I'll
because that's what you put Battle on the Planets tonight.
Yeah, you said you were not going to be here for half of it. So I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll get.
Yeah.
I'll put the Dark Admiral stuff.
Yeah,
on
put Dark Admirals in there. Yeah.
And then
when the girls are gone, you can put mine in. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put yours in last. Okay. There you go, guys. So join us for that. And thanks for hanging out tonight. And yeah, a lot of fun. You guys
see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern on Geeky Puppet Show for the best of the week.
Yeah, do that. Do that. Unless we're talking about Superman over here. Anyway, have a good night, guys.
Good night, kids.